Hello, my name is Richard Waugh from Zycus. Welcome to our video on the Procurement Performance series. And today's topic will be Contract Lifecycle Management. Specifically today we'll tackle the first part of a two-part series, and let's call it the Contract Management Red Lines. What are the changes needed to address the challenges of contract lifecycle management on an enterprise-wide basis? And those challenges are many. It starts with contracts living in a hodgepodge of disparate systems with data residing on various hard drives or shared drives or file folders across the business. And global enterprises having to deal with the complexity of global contracts that may be in different languages and different currencies. These agreements also tend to be non-standard, so they don't have the same clauses, the same even header terminology to make them comparable across the enterprise. And what's more, few organizations have those agreements centralized in one common repository where they have full visibility and search capability to find the contracts wherever they reside across the organization. Even those that have a repository and search often lack the ability to track actual contract performance and utilization to find out that end users, as they go out to purchase the goods and services that they need, are complying with the approved vendors that they have under contract or complying with the terms and conditions of those agreements. The contract creation process itself is inefficient and time-consuming for most businesses. And those delays, after having gone through a strategic sourcing process to negotiate the best agreement, really lead to deferred savings. Nothing can frustrate the procurement function more than the fact that the contracting process takes longer to get those newly negotiated agreements in place and start capturing those savings. Now, a lot of contracting today is done with Microsoft Word. And the problem is that on an enterprise-wide basis, they lack the ability to maintain version control so that all the different stakeholders that have to work on an agreement know that they're working on the current version. That leads to inefficiencies and rework in the process. What's more, there's a compliance risk. Many organizations lack an approval routing methodology to ensure that they're compliant with regulations like Sarbanes-Oxley that mandate that there are controls in place to assure that contracts are approved by the right people in the organization at the right time. Exacerbating the challenges here are the fact that the different stakeholders actually have different objectives in this process. For the legal function, it's all about managing risk, while for procurement, they're really focusing on managing cost and supplier performance against the service levels that they put in place in those agreements. So to get contract management and contract lifecycle management implemented as a discipline is a real challenge from a cross-functional technology or tool adoption standpoint. So when it comes to the legal function, and in many cases they've just graduated from the red pen to the red line in Microsoft Word. So getting them on board with a contract management system has to take into account what current tools and preferences all the different stakeholders have in place currently. And once up and running, the challenge is how do I put in place enterprise-wide reporting against those agreements? And that's another key item missing in most organizations today when it comes to contract management. In the next section, or next phase, part 2 of this series, we'll look at the contract management black lines, if you will. What are the real lasting solutions that can be put in place to drive a more efficient and effective contract lifecycle management discipline? Thanks for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed this session and look forward to the next one on those black lines and some real-world solutions for contract management and all these challenges we covered today.